Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to Wednesdays with Weeby Week 5. 5 weeks of you asking questions, which is pretty impressive, I must say. But today we've got a few questions lined up. Beforehand, I want to just have a quick chat with you about the channel and stuff like that, what's happening, etc, etc. I originally did plan to show you kind of like a behind the scenes of my channel, kind of like the analytics area, inboxes, messages, stuff like that. But basically the editor I used was having none of it and wasn't going to render the video because it didn't like its compatibility with the screen capture software. So whatever, I'll just record this now. It means the video is going to be slightly shorter than I originally anticipated, but what can you do, really? I mean, I was going to go through about telling you all of my stats and stuff like that, how well we've done the past few weeks, basically a month. I actually have a question for you guys. That being, tell me how old you are. Yeah, just come out and say it. Basically, I kind of want to work out what the age of my audience is. I would like to know whether well, it's pretty obvious by name, but I'm trying to work out how many, like, if my audience is mainly male, age, if there's any girls that watch. If there is, make sure you tell me in the comment sections below, because I'll be happy to know, because that would be quite interesting, seeing that the girls watch or women watch my videos, which is wow. But yeah, I just want to know generally about you guys a bit more, who the audience I'm reaching is, and yeah, I guess I haven't got really much else to say because I did go through that in the video, but yeah, there's not much I can do about that. I mean, I was thinking about just leaving the audio in and just putting the gameplay over the top. It wouldn't have made sense. You wouldn't have been able to see what I was doing. And blah 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 blah. But yeah, without further ado, I will let the other part of the commentary come on, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit, I guess, or in about 2 seconds for you. Magic's event of rendering videos. See you in a sec. So, also quickly, before we do get straight into the questions, I should probably mention about Sunday coming up. I have been mentioning it in every single Wednesdays with Weeby for the past few days, past few weeks, but some people still don't know about it. If any of you are going to the Duxford D-Day Air Show on Sunday, myself and Squirefly will be attending there. We will be doing a meet-up with you guys for lunch, so you can come sit down with us and kind of like just have a chat with us, stuff like that. I know a lot of you are going already. If you do spot us, make sure you come say hello. We don't bite, don't worry. We have got some prizes to give the people that spot us first. I know I'm going to be bringing a few model sets for you guys to win. I'm going to be bringing one that's a M4 Sherman. I'm going to try and get another one at some point, possibly a Spitfire, because I know the Spitfires are pretty cheap. I'm just looking over at my model kit, see if I've got any spare ones. No, not at the moment. I'll have to get one then. But yeah, basically, there's going to be prizes that we're going to give away. Myself and Squire are going to go around filming all day. I know Smin is going to be coming along with us. We're going to be getting there pretty early. Well, personally, I'm going to be leaving my house around 8 o'clock in the morning to get there early so I can go on the flight line, and basically we can get right up close to all the planes. We're not allowed to touch them, but we can literally get right next to them. So, yeah, good stuff. Without further ado, actually, you know what? Just before we do that, if you do want to know where exactly we are at Duxford, myself and Squire will be telling you guys on Facebook and Twitter. So I'm going to link, well, my links are always in the description. But in the comment section below this video, you should be able to also see Squire's Facebook, Squire's Twitter, my Twitter, and my Facebook also. So now, without further ado, let's get on with the first question. Okay, so first question comes in from Big Guy Productions. And he says, what do you think about German bombers and do you ever fly them? I like German bombers. Bet you weren't expecting that one, were you? Yeah, I actually do enjoy them thoroughly. I've gone down the Dornier 8217 line and the HE111 line because I just like them. I think they look pretty cool. I mean, they haven't got any heavy bombers yet, but I think things like the JU-88, HE111, Dornier 8217, stuff like that, JU-87 of course, are all really iconic planes, and I just like them. I just do. I like German bombers, really. Ever since I saw one when I was younger, I do like the German bombers. What I would like to see in game at some point is the FW200 Condor. That would be nice to see in game, as well as some other German heavy bombers. But eventually, soon, trademark, they'll be in game, I'm sure. So yeah, just gotta wait for that. But I'm mainly, as I said before, a British bomber guy. And I just want British bombers. I mean, things like the Dornier 8217, especially the E series, are very good bombers. Not only because they've got a pretty decent payload, I mean, like really decent for a medium bomber, but they have also got armament. So you've got your 20mm MG151 in the nose that's player controlled, so you can actually take down enemy fighters with it. I mean, it doesn't have many rounds of ammunition, but it can do damage, so to speak. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty good, in a way. I mean, I like it. I like the German bombers thoroughly. So, yeah, German bombers, good stuff. So, we come on to the next question, which comes in from Sir Kitterlot. Is that a play on words from Sir Killalot? By any chance from Robot Wars? If it is, tell me in the comment section below. But he says, WB, what do you think about the fact that the only British bombers in game are the Lancaster and a whole lot of Jelly Wellies? Surely we should have the Halifax, the Short Sterling, and the Whitley. The Battle, and possibly the Camera. You have a good point. Why Gaijin have overlooked these aircraft, I'm not entirely sure myself. I mean, I can understand that possibly things like the Wellington are slightly more famous than the Halifax, but the Halifax is a better overall bomber. So why they've decided to go along the lines of just putting a shit ton of Wellingtons in, it's possibly because at least that way they don't have to change the model around that much. Because otherwise the British bomber tech tree would be pretty bare. What I would assume they're going to do is eventually we will get things like the Halifax and the Sterling in eventually, but what they'll do is they'll put the Wellingtons in a folder, kind of like what they've done with the P-39s and P-63s. All those bombers will just go into one folder, and then what will happen is you'll go from things like, it'll go Blenheim, Beaufort, Wellington Mark 1, all the way up to the Wellington Mark 10, Short Sterling, Halifax, then Lancaster. I think that's how they'll do it. But I mean, it's all speculation, of course. We don't even know if they're going to come in game. I would hope they do, because if Gaijin miss out some of the most famous bombers at RAF Bomber Command, people aren't going to be exactly happy. So yeah, I don't know what Gaijin are going to be doing about that. But yeah, I would definitely like to see stuff like the Whitley, the Sterling, and the Halifax in-game. Canberra? Possibly. Although I would rather see the Vulcan in-game than the Canberra. But I mean, I know the Vulcan's not going to come in-game. It's just, I mean, yes, it did fly in 1950s to 60s. But the issue with having the Vulcan in is that its historical payload was a nuclear warhead. Now, obviously, in-game, that's not going to be very viable. So, I mean, they could go slightly out of historical context and use the Falklands War payload that the Vulcan had, which was World War II era bombs. They used the Vulcan to go in low level and bomb out the Argentinian airstrip. That's possible. That is very much so possible. But it would have to be an early prototype of the Vulcan. Possibly the first versions that came in, not the later models. I mean, same with the Hawker Hunter, really. I mean, we can't be having the stuff like the F8 in. F1, absolutely fine. F2, possibly. Swift F1, stuff like that would be absolutely terrific for the British tech tree. But things like the Vulcan are a bit on edge. But the camera is a very good possibility. I can see that being in game, because at the end of the day, it's just basically a stretched out meteor. You know, that's all it is, basically. Let's face it, it is literally a meteor stretched out with the cockpit in the nose. I mean, I could see it happening very well. So yes, I would like to see the camera in game. Jesus, this is going to be a long episode of Wednesdays with Weeby. Makes a change. Normally it's very short. Got out my rendering time. Okay, so next question comes in from English Gooner. Brilliant name, by the way. And he asks, "Hey Weeby, what's your opinion on about the how the UK are buying most of our aircraft overseas now? And if you had the power to change this, what would you do?" Brilliant question. It's not game related, and it's actually aviation related, which is nice. I was actually having this conversation with Smin last night. And I was saying, I would actually like to see the British aircraft industry come back somewhat. We had a really good aircraft industry before, and ever since, I can't remember which government it was, but basically they put all of the aircraft companies under one roof, so to speak, and that's BAE and BAC. What I would do, if I had the power to, is I would actually give the companies their own rights back. So Supermarine would come back, de Havilland would come back, Gloucester would come back, Hawker would come back. I mean, in my personal opinion, the last actual British jet to be made was the Tornado. That was the last fully British aircraft to come out of our production. And I mean, it's still in service today. But the Eurofighter Typhoon just doesn't cut it. It's like, because it's shared between a load of countries, it's like saying, let's have an example. It's like saying we shared the Spitfire with the Germans. You know, it's kind of that concept. I mean, the Spitfire is it's known for the British. It's a trademark of British engineering. I mean, we don't have that anymore. It's a shame, because I mean, stuff like the GDR Tornado, the Harrier, stuff like that were British designs. I mean, the Harrier was bought overseas, especially in America. The Americans bought the Harrier extensively. But nowadays, aircraft just don't have that character that they used to. I mean, the Hawker Hunter had a character, the Vampire had a character, the Avro Vulcan, it had a character. Even I mean, to an extent, the Harrier had a character, especially the Tornado also. But they just don't have that anymore, and it's quite saddening. It really is, because I would just like to see some aircraft coming back. I mean, Supermarine and Hawker could come up with some really good independent designs, and I think that's what should happen eventually. Although it won't. I know it won't, but it'd be nice to see them come up with some concept ideas and see possibly them come into production. Okay, so next question comes in from H&H Gaming, and he says, "Do you think that Gaijin should add more historical skins to planes, like the Red Tails or the famous Aces in game?" I would like to see this. Yes, I would like to see skins such as the Tuskegee Airmen. I'd like to see the Blue Nose Bastard skins. I'd like to see Eric Hartman skins. I would like to see Franz Stiegler skins. Douglas Bader. Or Barda, I think he prefers his name to be pronounced as. I'd like to see some British Aces coming in there. But yes, most definitely, I would like to see some more, how should we say, kind of like in-depth camouflages. Because what they've got in-game currently, you can unlock the camouflages, that's all fine and dandy, but they don't really have insignia or markings on them, which is kind of, meh. I would like to see some markings on them, personally. But yeah, hopefully they'll eventually get some more Ace skins in-game. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Jesus. Long Wednesdays with Weeby today. Do you actually like them this long, or do you rather just them being short? Tell me in the comment sections below. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you click that like button below. Subscribe if you're new around here for more War Thunder content, as well as random shenanigans and Q&As such as this. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time.